Hello DHS friends, we are starting World Team Championship. I am Grandmaster Zavin Andreasen and I will help you to see the games. Today we have very interesting matches, Armenia against Israel and Russia against Ukraine. So we will start from our national team from Armenia, board number 1, Levon Aronian. So they played Gelfand as we know, very solid player, and they played many games with each other. And Gelfand, as usual, start with d4. Levon answered with knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5. And here Boris have a choice to play knight c3 to avoid queen's gambit with bishop e7. But Boris this time chose the line with g3 to go to Catalan. Levon played bishop e7, bishop g2, castle, castle, dc. And usually here white have queen c2, which is the main move. But Boris this time chose the line with knight e5, which is also very interesting. And whites just want to take the pawn on c4 with the knight to get some comfortable position after knight c3, then bishop f4. So Levon answered knight c6, which is very concrete move and very interesting line. So now white can't take on c4 because bishop pawn on d4 is hanging. Gelfand took on c6, Levon took on c6, and now Boris play knight a3, very interesting move. I had a bit looked at this move, and I can say that computer say that white have very good compensation for this pawn sacrifice, because as you can see, blacks have free pawn on the c line and they are very weak. So now Levon have to take on a3, otherwise knight will take on c4, because bishop a6 it's not possible because of queen a4. Now is hanging bishop and two pawns. So Levon choose to take on a3, Boris take on a3 and a5. Very interesting move. Now blacks want to play bishop a6, because bishop on a6 is very strong. He is protecting the pawn on c4, which is very important pawn on this structure. Black can sacrifice the pawns on c6, even on c7, but they have to protect the very important pawn on c4. Queen a4. Also white can take on c6, but I think here after rook b8 black are doing fine. I mean, they want some bishop b7, change the white color bishops, then it should be okay for black. So Gelfand choose queen a4. He want to take on c4, very important pawn. And now also sacrificing the pawn on d4. And I think if now black will take on d4, white will continue bishop e3. So now black have to play some queen d6. And here I think white have very strong compensation for two pawns. But pawn on c4 is hanging, also on c6 hanging. I think it's possible some rook fd1 and knight d5, play some calm move like rook c1 or maybe some bishop d4, then e4 is coming. And two pair of bishops are very strong. And white should have enough compensation for these two pawns. But Levon took the decision to play bishop a6 to protect the important pawn, which is very Very interesting position, and now white have to take on c6 because it's very hard to see another continuation. Blacks want to play bishop b5 to protect all the pawns, and queen must go back to c2, which is unpleasant for white. So white take on c6, bishop take on c6, and rook b8, and queen a5. Now black's moves, Levon is thinking. I think it's very interesting and dynamic position. Probably black have to play rook b6 to attack the bishop, and if some bishop f3, then they can take on d4. They can the queen d4 is forbidden because bishop e3 now is rook hanging. Because of this, I think Levon is thinking he maybe have also some another move, maybe change the bishops to play with white colors, squares. Also possible some queen d4, but here I think white have bishop e3. So now rook is protected, and queen and bishops are hanging. So maybe some queen d6, but okay, queen a6, probably it's lost for black. So this is the position. I think both players are playing both players on their books. So Levon, I think he must know the position, and so he will find okay, he played bishop b7 as we said. He want to change the white squares bishops, which is very strong white square bishop, and I think after this changing, black will have good compensation for the pawn, because these pawns on A are not so strong, and hanging the pawn on d4 is hanging. So if some bishop e3, then probably black can play queen d5, and if we will change the queens, so now I think black are fine, because rook a8 will come, rook a7, and very weak pawns on the line A. So this is the position, and Boris is thinking. I think it's also possible some move like queen c3. Just want to take on c4, and if queen d5, just play f3 to not avoid the knight e4, and at least now white want to play e4, then bishop is coming. Here possible some c5 to try make some counter chances. I think white can take on c5, queen takes on c5, maybe some bishop e3, then queen c6. I think black must have enough compensation for the pawn. As we have looked, players are going the line which we choose. So queen c3, queen d5, Levon protect the pawn on c4, Boris played f3. So now Levon is thinking. White want to play e4 to attack the black queen. Then after play bishop e3 and some rook on c1. I think c5 must be played. Also black are changing the one of double pawns. So if dc, then queen c5, bishop e3, queen c6. Also maybe possible some queen b5 to take under control the line B. But here maybe white can play bishop e3 to not give this temp. cd, then bishop takes on d4, and with a1 aj diagonal, white have some pressure on knight on f6. So I think this is the problem of move c5. Bishop e3 is the move which must play it with white. So I think this is the problem while Levon is thinking. Maybe he can find some other option to play. Maybe some rook a8 to not hurry with c5, but always have in mind c5. Because otherwise I didn't see how to play e5 is not the move which must play it, because after d will take e5, I mean if even rook will be on e8, this exchange of pawns are favor for white. So I think black should think about c5, I mean to change these pawns, c7 on d4. Okay, let's make a small pause on this game and see another one game from this match. They are playing Gabriel Sargsyan against Emil Sutovsky. Sargsyan is white. Gabriel plays knight f3. Emil answers c5, c4, knight c6. English opening of English gambit. So knight c3, g6, e3, knight f6, and we transpose to d4, cd, e takes d4, d5. So we transpose to Caro-Kann attack of Panov. And it's very interesting that in Candidates match, Levon Aronian beats Boris Gelfand in this line. So now we can see what new interesting continuations, what prepared Israeli team. Gabriel took on d5, knight take on d5, queen b3. There is well very famous variation with knight c3, bishop c4, e6 and bc, which I think is favor for white. But okay, it's a lot of games played by this line: bishop g7, bishop a3, bishop f8. But this time Emil chose the line with e6 immediately. Gabriel answered bishop b5. Now black have problem with all black squares that are very weak: f6, h6. You can see all e5, also c5. Now white want to take on c6 and b takes on c6. Blacks will have another weak pawn, with pawns a7 and c6. But Emil played bishop g7. He want to make a castle. While white are not hurried to take on c6 because I think black can't play bishop d7 because of hanging on d5. So it's not, they don't have another move to protect the knight. So castle played, white take on c6, black takes on c6, and knight d4. Okay, now white wants, very important to not let to black to play c5. I mean, even sacrifice this pawn sometimes can bring to blacks a very good compensation, because they have two bishop pair, and if c5, I mean somewhere c5, dc, then bishop b7, these bishops will be very strong. Otherwise now the bishop on c8 is not the best one. You don't have a good square, only play a square that he can be, this is a6, but here he's not doing anything. So just knight e4 to not let c5, and somewhere want to play knight d5, bishop g5. This is the game how they want to continue. So we are continuing the game of Gabriel Sargsyan. Knight d4, as we said. White didn't want to let blacks to play c5, because now if this sacrifice will come, so white will take with the knight. Queen b6. Blacks want to change the queens. Okay, of course, if white will take, so black will doing fine. Even they will be they will have better chances with these two pairs, bishops. And Gabriel played just rook d1, protecting the pawn on d4, and I think he wants to play knight e5, because if black will take on b3, they will change the queens. I think it's good for white, because if some move like rook b8, this must be the idea of taking on b3. White will continue with knight c5, protecting the pawn on b3. Now hanging is the pawn on a7, black's pawn, and the bishop on c8 it's just a bad. So knight e5 is coming next move. It will be a big advantage for white. And of course, black didn't take on b3, they played bishop a6. Now bishop e2 is coming. Okay, if now is a move blacks, they will take here and play bishop e2, take on f3, and of course this can't be good for white. So this is the position, and Gabriel is now thinking. I think he's thinking about knight e5, which is a very interesting move. So just put the knight on e5. Want to play knight d7, rook and a queen. Also protecting this pawn for this bishop attacking. And of course blacks can't change the knight on e5 because d takes e5 and it's helpless for black. Here may be possible for black to play some rook f b8, because if queen b6 to take on b6 with the rook, I think it's more or less about equal, but maybe some b3, then bishop a3. Maybe white will have some pressure on these pawns on c6, on a7. It's very hard to black to move. Bishops are not the best one. So this is the position, and Gabriel is thinking, okay, let's see another game. Smirin against Movsisyan. Ilya Smirin is playing with white. He is very aggressive player, and usually he is playing only e4. And as we know, Movsisyan is playing c5, this knight f3, e6, d4, take, knight c6, knight c3, and here Sergei usually plays this line with a6, which is playing very well Petr Svidler with black pieces. Also Viktor Laznička is playing this line, and of course I think Mamedyarov is playing this line. Very much strong players are playing this line because this is very fighting line, and of course it's dangerous for black, but also it's dangerous for white to play this line. But it's a very playable and very risky line. So white take on c6, b takes on c6, bishop d3, which is a theory, d5, castle, knight f6. Here I know that the possible moves are some rook e1 with the idea queen f3, and later on to play e5, then bishop f4, queen g3 to start attack on black king on king side. But also is the next text move, bishop queen e2 is also possible and very interesting move. The ideas are, I think, the same. White want to play e5 somewhere, knight will go to d7, and the standard idea with b3, knight a4 and c4. I think in this game we will also see this. So then we are going bishop e7, just continuing to activate his pieces. Now blacks want to play castle, bishop f4, castle, rook fe1. White's plays very clear. Now they want rook a d1, then e5, and it's possible also some sacrificing on h7, just queen h5. There is two plans, as I mentioned, knight a4 and c4, and the second one to try to make attack on black's king. Which is don't have very good defenders. I mean, okay, as we know that knight is the best defender of the king, but after e5 this knight will go somewhere to d7 or e8, probably d7, but then kings will be alone and white can continue his attacking chances. So bishop b7 was played in the game. Rook a d1, just bring the last piece to the game. Rook e8, which is a standard move. The idea is very idea we will see now e5, knight d7. Very important that always black will have this f8 square for the knight or the bishop. So they can play knight f8 to protect the pawn on h7, or they have another one idea to play g6, then bring their bishop to g7 to protect the king. White chose another one plan, which is more positional, but I like this plan more than some attack on the king. Just want to play c4, b3 to attack on this very strong pawn on d5. So now we will see c5, which must be played, c4 and d4, b3. Okay, maybe they can start with the bishop e4, but the main idea in these positions are b3, g6 and bishop e4. Whites want to exchange the white squares bishops, then bring this knight from b2 to d3. As we know, the knight is the best blocker for the pawn. And here Smirin played rook d3, which is very interesting. Maybe more strong than knight b2, knight d3. The idea is now white want to play just rook h3, then after this to bring the knight, because if we can see, if now white will play knight b2 with the idea with knight d3, then rook will stay here and he couldn't help to the attack of white pieces to black's king. So rook d3, and Movsisyan is thinking. I think here white have slightly better position, and black must play very accurately to equalize the position. Usually they are playing trying to play bishop to change the white square bishop, and to play knight b6 to try to change the knights, then play a5, a4 to have some counterplay. Otherwise, white's attack will be very strong. So let's see the last game of this match. Vladimir Akopyan against Maxim Rochstein. As I know, Maxim is a player who is playing just everything. So he is playing e6, c6, c5, but this time he chose e5, which is very modern in this, which is modern line, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, and again Berlin Wall. So Vladimir, I think he just didn't want to play this Berlin Wall and played d3 to try play some Italian style positions, but just bishop on b5, which is Vladimir plays very often. Bishop c5, c3. Also it's possible to play castle, but then usually is coming knight d4, which is in this moment is the strongest one move, and these positions are about equal, and white couldn't get any advantage. Just this is some logical variation which is continuing, and here white don't have anything. So I think this is why that Vladimir made this decision to play c3 and to not let this knight d4 move. So black play castle, which is logical. Castle, white answered the same castle. Rook e8. It's possible also to play d6, but I think Maxim didn't like something like bishop takes, pawn takes on c6, and it's possible some bishop g5 with this idea of knight bd2, then d4 to start attack to the center, to the black center. And maybe Maxim wants just to bring his bishop to e7 to don't have these pins by h4 to d8 for the queen. So rook e8, bishop g5, h6, which is always blacks need this h6, bishops h4, which is very good for black. Bishop h4, a6. Now blacks offer to white to change the bishops on c6 or just go back. Vladimir chooses to go back, because if take on c6, I think also can be possible some d6, d takes to c6. Bishop g4 is coming, and knight bd2 is forbidden because of pawn on d3 is hanging. At some moment black will play bishop e7, then they will solve the problem with this pin, and they will doing fine. So the bishop if a4 was continuing. Anyway, bishop e7. It's very important to solve this problem with this line, with this pin, because if black will solve this problem, so they will equalize the position. I think knight bd2, b5, bishop b3, d6, and a4. This is the position right now, and I think blacks are thinking about to play bishop. Maybe bishop e6 is not possible because of this exchange, and queen b3. Now the pawns are hanging and I couldn't see the move which can protect both of them, so maybe this is the problem. And Maxim, I think, now is thinking about to play rook b8, but now can continue a takes b5, a takes b5, and some, I think, some rook e1 with standard ideas to bring the knight to the center. And also it's possible maybe to play bishop b7, but I think this is just a very dangerous move, because now the square on f5 is very weak, and okay, if bishop on c8, so he can protect, and even sometimes he can exchange with the knight. But now if some standard play, I mean rook e1, the knight is coming with, it's not easy to understand how black want to stop this knight. And also it's possible some bishop g3, knight h4, some standard play by d4 if blacks try to play bishop f8. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, Maxim choose the other line, other move with the bishop to d7, which is also possible. Now they protect just the rook on a8. Vladimir took on f6, which is also possible in these lines, because black have some problems with the white squares, I mean d5, f5, g6, because they played h6, and now white don't need this bishop anymore on h4, so they exchange on knight on f6, and they will have the square d5 for the bishop, for the white bishop. So black have to take on f6, bishop d5. Now this pin is very unpleasant, and queen b3 is coming. Now maybe whites want to play to take on b5, take on b5, take on a8, queen take on a8, and queen b3. Then again these two pawns are hanging. So Maxim choose the move rook b8, just remove the rook from the line A. White takes on b5, black takes on e5, b5, and b4. I like this move. So now just white are preparing queen b3, or maybe possible some knight b3, knight a5 at some moment. I think white have some small advantage. Not much, but some small advantage. Blacks continue to queen c8. I think they want some knight d8, c6, and bishop e6, because they must solve the problem with this very strong bishop. They must exchange the bishop, because it's really very strong and annoying black king and also queen side. So Vladimir just answered queen c2. I think he just want to double the rook on for the line A and start some maybe positional attack, some knight b3. Okay, Maxim answers knight d8 as we thought. Just c6 now is coming, and bishop e6. And blacks just want to exchange these very important bishops. Bishop on d5. Maybe rook a7 is possible now, but then c6, I think. Bishop b3, bishop e6. to exchange, or maybe immediately bishop e6 without c6. Okay, let's back just to the game, to the Levon Aronian. Okay, this was the position, queen d5, when we when we changed the position. And here we was thinking how to play somewhere, how to play c5, but we couldn't find the direct way to play c5, because as you remember, c5, we understand that after bishop e3, blacks have a big problem. After c takes d4, bishops take d4. I think it's quite good for white. So because of this, I think blacks didn't play c5, and Levon chose the move rook d8, just attacking the pawn on d4. And here Boris make interesting decision. He just sacrificed the pawn with e4. Okay, just let's see what would happen on if bishop e3. If just white just protect the pawn on d4. I think he didn't play because of some queen c6, then just knight is coming to d5, and it's not easy to play. I mean, if some bishop f2, then knight d5 is coming, queen c1, possible some c3, and I think black's position is really fine. Just rook b2 is coming. If some move like e4 is also possible, some idea with knight b6, then bring this knight on a4, which is really very strong on a4. So I think this is why white didn't play bishop e3 on rook d8. So e4, just sacrificing the pawn. Blacks didn't have the choice, they have to take. White take the queen, rook take the queen, bishop e3. Okay, very interesting position. Both whites and blacks have doubled pawns on a and c, but I think white have some small advantage because of the bishop is more stronger than the knight. Knight didn't have a good place on the center, he just didn't have a square where he can be. Of course, the best place for the knight would be the a4, but I mean it's too long to play knight d7, knight b6, they don't have so much tempis. So it's, if rook d3, I think rook d1 will come, and it's forbidden to take on e3 because rook d8 mate. But if not rook e3, then it's not easy to understand how to play, because white just want to play on d3, pawn take on d3, then rook d1, rook take on d3, and it will be unpleasant end game. So I think because of this Levon choose rook d6. On bishop e3 he just play rook d6. Of course e5 is not possible. I mean, okay, just rook d3, and black's doing fine. I mean, now these ideas are not working because black's knight have a fantastic place on d5, and only black can be better here. So rook d6, and Boris is thinking now how to continue the game. It's possible to play some rook c1, rook fc1, maybe ac1, some rook on c1, I mean. And if just protecting, to double with the rook. But this could go for Maybe blacks can play knight d7 to bring the knight on b6, but okay, knight d7 now, white have rook d1, and knight b6 is not possible because rook d8 mate. So maybe they must find some another move, but which is not easy to see because king f8. I mean, I will play just rook ac1. Just want to take on c4, which is not easy. I think it's just impossible to protect this pawn. So this is the position. Now Boris is thinking, but I think rook c1 is the move which must be played. Just attacking the pawn on c4. But maybe here black can play some h5, and if rook c4, rook d3 is coming, because lot of, I mean, pawns and bishops on rank 3 are hanging, and it's not easy to understand how white can protect all this. So h5 is, I think, the best move on rook c1. Also is opening the place for the king. Now rook d3 is coming. Yes, so so I think it's must be fine for black if they don't have these ideas with the rook c1, then attacking the pawn on c4. So Boris is thinking, but Boris have more time, so he must find some move to continue the game. Otherwise, if someone two moves like in this continuation, then game will be ended in a draw, because lot of changes in this position. Okay, let's just see what is going in another games. Sarkisian against Sutovsky. Okay, this was the position, and if you remember, we just thought that knight e5 must be played, and Gabriel played knight d5. Now, as we mentioned, knight d7 is coming, so black just answered rook a d8. They didn't let whites to play knight d7. Also, they offered to sacrificing the pawn. I mean, queen b6, pawn takes knight c6, but here I think blacks are doing fine after rook c8, just knight e5, then rook c2. I think even here blacks are better. It's not that they have compensation, they are just better. Rook c8 is coming, f c8 is coming. So, because of this, Gabriel chose the line bishop e3. Okay, just positional line. Just continuing his plans with knight c5. Now maybe rook c1 will come. I think it's here white have some advantage because of this with pawns, and the bishop is also on a6 is not the best one. Of course, black have a knight on d5, very strong. Knight on d5. They have two pair bishops, but it can't be enough because of these two weak pawns. Okay, dear friends, we just make some small pause and we will continue in 5 minutes. So we just back, and again we will see how are going the positions in 11 Aronian games against Boris Gelfand. Okay, here we can see that they have the same position. They have the same position with Rook d6. Gelfand is thinking about 20 minutes, and he couldn't find maybe the move which can continue the game, because it's really not easy to see how to continue the game, to playing for the win, to just continue the game, because as we see the move Rook fc1 with the idea to taking on c4, Black have very strong move h5, just opening the place for the king, and Rook c4 is not possible because of Rook d3, which is all pieces are hanging on a third rank. So Boris is thinking it's not easy to find some calm move, or I don't know, just some move which can continue the game. a4 is not possible because just rooks a6, and the pawn is, they are just losing the pawn. So Rook fc1 is also facing to h5. Maybe they White can play some Rook fd1 with the idea e5. So maybe this can be the move which White have to play. Now e5 is coming, and if Black will change the rooks, so it's something for White. Now mate on d8 is hanging. If king f8, just possible some Rook c1, then pawn on c4 is maybe just losing. So Rook fd1 is the move which must be played, I think. Just I can see another option how to continue this game. Okay, let's see what is going in next game. Sargsyan against Sutovsky. Here also we don't have a move. Sutovsky is still thinking. As we mentioned, that White have a better chances because of these pawns on c6, a7. They are hanging. Bishop on a6 is not good. So Sutovsky is still thinking. Now we can see the game. Smirin Movsisyan. Okay, this was the position. Rook d3, which we say that White have some pressure. Movsisyan played Rook ac8. I think he wants just to play at some moment just knight b6, or maybe he want to play take on e4, queen take e4, then play queen c6, because otherwise the Rook ac8 is don't have the mind. So knight b2, Okay, as we mentioned, bishop take on e4, queen take on e4, and queen c6. Okay, if blacks will change the queens, it will be not dangerous for them, so they will solve the problems, because the problem is white's attack on king side, and black's king is very weak now. He's played g6, and this squares h6, h6, f6, g7. These squares are, they have some problems with these squares. Queen c6, and Smithin chose the line just to not change the queens. Queen e2, he wants just to continue the attack with the rook h3, then queen g4, maybe knight d3. Maybe at some moment he will change the black square bishops, then to start attack with rooks and queen. Movsisyan played a5. He wants to have his own counterplay on a queen side. Otherwise, if he will just stay, that he will be mated. Some rook h3, knight d3, as we say, that attack will be very strong. So a5, and now white are thinking how to continue the game, because I think if rook h3 it's possible some knight b6 and a4, or just rook h3 it's possible rook a8, rook b8, some move. Then next move, if white will play knight d3, then a4 will come. So maybe we can see the last game. Okay, so my friends tell me that we have a special guest, Mr. Glupovsky. This was a guest. Hello, Mr. Glupovsky, who is a captain of Russian team.
Yes.
So we will make a pause on this match, and maybe we go to Russia against Ukraine, if you
Yes, okay.
yes, and we will see how we're going the games. But maybe before the games, some questions about how was your trip, how was your team is thinking.
Well, everything was fantastic, and our team come here 3 days before to have a time
And you
for
have a time
yes,
for resting, yeah?
yes, racing at high
High level, yeah.
yes, high level, yes. It's everything is fantastic. I just came on the 18th, on the day when the tournament starts. I'm from Tbilisi. Have very interesting and nice day by car from Tbilisi, and see a lot of natures.
We have a lot of
way.
nature.
Yes,
Armenia is famous with this place.
yes, very nice, beautiful landscapes, mountains, everything, birds. So no, it was for me. It was very interesting, especially not the first time, but really first time, because I just was here for 2 days for the presidential board last winter, and see nothing. But now I'm happy. Yes, and I'm happy that I have a time to be here 10 days. It's very big pleasure for me.
It's very nice, and maybe some question. This Kramnik is not playing in your team.
Yes. So Vladimir usually play only on the Olympiad. From time to time he plays the World Team Championship, or I cannot remember. He didn't play on the European Team Championship.
No, European I think he didn't, but in the World I think he was playing when you became a World Champion.
Yes, on the last.
Yes,
on the last. But the previous he didn't play it.
Yes.
Previous.
Usually he's playing only Olympic.
Yes, usually he's playing on the Olympiad. Now he's playing
in Shamkir.
In Shamkir, yes.
He is doing well, I think. He has 1.5 after 2 games that he's leading with Magnus.
Yes. I hope that he will play very good. And Magnus, before the tournament, said that he's most dangerous opponent for him. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, we will see.
Anyway, very interesting and exciting match against Ukraine.
Yes.
As usual, it's pairings was very interesting game on the first board. I don't know how to what computer saying how.
Okay, I also didn't
You-
know
you also
because we are,
didn't-
yes,
yes,
we are
yes,
not
yes, yeah.
checking with the computer.
Yes,
We're trying with human.
yes, yes, it's
So okay, this is the
So-
okay. We can start this from
Yes.
the beginning. If
yeah.
okay, d4, cd, queen d4. This is maybe rare line, yes. It's,
Yes.
But these years it became very popular.
Yes, yes, and no, everybody knows that Alexander, like Vasily in Ukraine team, and
Yes,
Alexander in our team can play every opening.
Yes, yes,
So and after 96, yes, he played.
Yes, yes. As and I think this is the because of Alexander is very good theoretical in Najdorf.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think Whites didn't want to avoid
Yes,
him to.
a lot of
He played
exciting
very
game.
yes,
Yes, in
So I think
Najdorf. Yeah.
maybe this was the right to not play with him in Najdorf.
Yes,
Yes.
maybe,
Okay.
yes.
A6. Okay, this is a theory. So
It's
we
a
will-
theory. Yes, I
Yes,
don't know.
yes, yes.
It's-
This is a
it's
theory.
very rare. Yes.
Yes, very rare because usually they are not playing A6. I mean,
Yes. Bishop
here
d7 something like
it's
this.
possible A6 here,
Mm-hmm.
or possible some knight F6. Also bishop D7.
Bishop
is,
d7. Yes.
Yes.
A lot
But okay, this is
a lot of
I
possibilities
mean,
here.
we can
Yes. Okay.
to not stop here. E5. Here I didn't remember exactly, but I know.
F6.
F6 is okay. I like the move.
Yes. 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 It was,
Positionally, he just give maybe he want to take more better structure, pawn structure, than he have two pair bishops. So
yes.
he
F6 is really rare move. Yes.
okay, he is also really very. He's just fighter, so always he's choosing the fighter lines.
yeah.
He takes d6. I think he have to play.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, e5.
Of course. Yes.
Queen a4.
It was the idea. Yes.
Yes, queen a4. Okay, maybe.
Logical move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, queen d6. They have to play. Otherwise, c6 is hanging here. So here, just castle.
Yeah.
Knight d7. Just
Okay. Knight d7.
knight d7.
Knight c3.
Knight
yeah.
c3. Yes, it's logic.
And
a5.
I think e5 is a point of this variation.
Yes, you just want to play queen b4.
Yes. Otherwise, White has a very comfortable position. If
Yes, it's very strong
yes,
attack, yes.
yes. If you don't play.
I think if black will change the queen, so maybe they can get initiative and they
Yes.
will be better because of these bishops, yes, and
Yeah.
this pawn on e5 is very strong. So, but okay, how white can to not avoid the change of queens? I didn't see
Maybe f3. I don't
queen
know. Maybe
a3.
e3.
But okay, it's I mean,
No, it looks strange, but
Yes,
it was possible. Yeah.
yes, a3. Also, I was thinking some maybe queen e4, but it's lots of temp is losing.
Yes.
Bishop f5, then I think black.
And after that, black is like
Yes.
yes.
Maybe better.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was better because pawn structure it's not so good, but okay.
Okay, but
Full compensation.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay, so knight d2 was played.
It's also logical. White understood that we will change the queens,
I
but
mean, yes,
wants
they want
to
knight
go to
b3, knight c5,
knight c5.
yes,
Yeah, I think it's an
to
idea.
attack these pawns. So queen b4
Wait,
played, and
now I'm Ruslan thinking.
no, okay, he
uh,
just answered knight de4.
e4, yes. And if black will exchange queen now, white's
Knight
goes
to
to
c5,
c5. It's
and pawn
important.
on a5 for the bishop to d2 at some point.
But maybe black should do it. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe bishop.
Bishop
I
c6.
don't see any other ideas. Yes, but I really hard to say.
How to not play? I mean, if you think
Yes.
that they have to take on a4, yeah. But okay, maybe rook b8,
Maybe it's
just waiting move.
yes, but I think that's maybe
The
maybe
problem is
maybe white has a more
options,
waiting
yeah.
move here. Maybe not. Maybe if
Bishop b3, yeah.
bishop if you should calculate.
I mean, you will never take on
Yes,
b2.
never, not
No.
now, but maybe later. Okay, I don't
Okay,
know.
it's too risky.
Yes,
Because all
yes.
pieces are.
Maybe bishop d7 is also option.
But I was thinking it's forbidden because maybe take. and check.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Maybe maybe it's interesting
No.
at King E8. So I was thinking this and now BC.
Maybe here black is okay. Maybe not, but it's very interesting. Of
Yes.
course, yeah.
Maybe here check and some knight E4.
Yes, looks.
But then King C7. I think it should be okay for black. I didn't see a problem here.
Yeah.
So maybe bishop D7. You are right.
Maybe it's option. I didn't see your reaction, but my idea to play knight D5. Yes, after
yes, knight D5.
Knight D5, and I tried to develop my pieces. Yeah.
Yes, just developing this rook, bishop, and
very interesting position.
Yeah.
Very interesting position as usual when Alexander
yes,
plays.
He's always have very interesting positions from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we just go to another game.
Yes, because
it's very strange to see.
One game can finish soon. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what happens.
It's
but
just a theoretical game.
No, it's impossible. You think it's theoretical?
Yeah, I remember this position. It's okay.
Really?
So we just go.
We'll see.
Knight F3, D6.
Because for me, when Duke's playing looks very strange and dangerous for black.
No,
maybe
this is the line, but I didn't remember that. Okay, just we will go. Okay, the classical Najdorf.
Yeah.
And it's very strange to see Vasily not in the first board, you know?
Yes.
Usually
but I didn't remember. Maybe it was one time Vasily played on the second board.
And Panamarev, yes, was
playing. Yes. Maybe it was after Ruslan won World Championship.
And to beat Ivan Chuk in the final games, yeah?
Yes. Maybe after that, on the Olympiad, Ruslan played on the first board.
Yeah.
But after that, yes.
Usually Vasily was
playing. Of course.
Okay, Queen F3, Queen C7. Okay, this is the old line.
Yeah.
Which was maybe played.
Yes, thousands.
Yes. Knight B7, G4, B5. Takes, G5, Knight D7. All this. Okay, F5. Check. I remember that I analyzed this position, but always it was ending in a draw, you know. But it was yes. Usually computers show 0, but you know it's very hard positions. Knight D5, Queen H5, Bishop F6.
No. Not Bishop F6.
Queen D8, yes.
Yes, Queen D8. But this
I didn't remember.
Yes, this move looks very strange.
I remember this Bishop F6. Motilyov has a very good game. Maybe yours.
By black?
I think by white.
By white.
He sacrificed some rook and the game ended in a draw, but it was a very sharp position and
very interesting. I didn't remember, but this move looks very strange.
I think Motilyov is the coach of Kariaki.
Yes.
Maybe they have some interesting.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
So Queen D8 maybe was. For Vasily, maybe it was good that he escaped this.
Maybe, but position looks very dangerous for him. Yeah.
So Bishop F6, I think he have to play.
Yes.
Because, just no another move.
Yes. Takes
and
castle. Yeah, only move, of course. And now Sergei played bishop.
But he's still thinking, or
no, he played bishop H3.
Oh, played bishop H3.
Yes.
Just protect the pawn on E6.
Yes. It's for I don't know. White had a lot of possibilities now. Knight D5, Knight F5. It looks very strange, as I see. Attacking, and I don't.
Maybe rook DF1. Yes, at some moment.
Maybe not now. In this moment, yes, black should play, but I would like to play Knight D5, of course.
Maybe rook A7. Don't know.
Maybe Knight D5. Okay. It looks very.
Yes. Okay.
Looks very dangerous. You cannot take to E6 and
because knight.
All my pieces attacking
even bishop.
Looks very strange.
So he played bishop H3. Yes.
Yes, he played. I saw it. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, we'll see.
So
Vasily
we
is,
can say that this is good
yes.
for your team. Yes, it's good position.
The position looks like
Yes, I mean
very
good position. Just
Good. Yes. Now,
so
of
okay,
course.
your first board, it's okay for you.
Oh,
but you play
Bishop F5.
F5.
Bishop F5 played
So-
Alexander. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we will not show
Yes,
it,
okay,
but
we just-
okay,
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 Bishop
yes,
F5.
yes. And very interesting game on the third board. Elyanov against Tomaszewski. We are good friends also.
Yes, they are training in a one team. Yes, I think.
From yes,
Yes.
we are both helpers
Yes,
to
to
Boris Gilfin.
Boris, yes.
Yes, and
So okay.
a lot of time he
Training,
hits
yes.
Tomaszewski
Uh-huh.
on the opening. I don't know why, but okay.
G-
Now
G-
G3
D
takes
takes
yes.
Bishop G2,
Bishop G2,
B5.
B5
Just protect this.
yes.
Knight
Castle.
E5,
Knight F5
Bishop B7,
Castle
Castle, Knight F6.
Knight F6 and B3 played Pavel.
Just don't sacrifice it.
Yes,
Some
it's,
standard motifs,
yes.
yes. Okay, Bishop. Okay,
No,
he
he
take,
takes.
yes, with the pawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Queen B3, maybe Queen D4 is possible.
Maybe.
But also Bishop B2.
Yes.
Okay, he chose the AP. Pavel is more positional player, so he will like these
Yes.
positions.
Okay, so
Bishop B7,
Knight
Knight C3.
C3, and after Castle, I was happy because after Knight B5 and Knight D5, the
Five.
position looks normal for Black. Before
Yes,
it,
then
I was
C5,
yes. I can when I play C5,
Knight
yes,
A3,
Knight
you have to
A3,
play
yes.
C5.
C5, yes.
Yes, it should be okay for you. I mean, for Black,
Bishop
it,
B2.
it must be okay.
Bishop B2. Play
Bishop
for
B2.
takes, as I remember. And position is
No.
no. Bishop
I
B2,
mean,
Knight D7.
Knight
Sorry,
D7,
yes.
yes.
Bishop B2,
Knight
Knight D7, Knight C4,
Knight A4 and take on
and
D4.
yes.
Okay, I think it's comfortable position for Black.
I'm not sure. I'm still
I mean,
a little
he-
bit nervous about this game because Pavel is a very strong player
And
and
for the time trouble, yeah, maybe.
yes, maybe some time trouble and maybe his position is not so easy. Yes, maybe it's
But I think he find this good idea to sacrifice
Yes.
on pawn and just
back.
give the back.
Yes.
To
It's a
solve the
good
whole
idea, yes.
problem. So now, okay, some small problems. I
But
mean.
anyway, White's pieces looks a little bit better.
Okay, maybe the pressure on A7 pawn, yes.
Yes.
Knight A5 some moments. But okay,
Now what White should do to take?
I think
Right.
if he will take some Bishop D4, then we'll play Knight A5, Knight D5,
Mhm.
then Bishop F6.
F6, yes.
I think he want to play some, I don't know, some other move, some Knight A5 or something like this.
Yes, 95
Because-
looks interesting, but
Because otherwise
yes.
it will be just, I mean,
yes,
some
if,
exchange. and-
yes. So, if we can change some pieces, it will be good, of course. For
Yes,
Black,
of course,
yes.
of course. Some pair of knight, then the
Maybe 95 is interesting, yeah. I don't know, interesting possibilities. Maybe Knight C3 you can play now. Knight F5.
Knight C3,
Knight
but I
C3.
think not, because it will be something hanging. I can't Queen D4.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was my
So-
hope. Yeah. Takes
Bishop
to
G2.
G2, yes.
Maybe now I can play Knight
Maybe.
C6, takes, Queen E8, takes, and Queen D4. This will be good.
Yes.
Because King G2, Knight D5, but also Queen D4, some small advantage.
No,
But okay, I like this one.
Yes.
You should
Takes.
takes, Queen E8.
Yes. Yeah, I should play.
Okay, but this is good for me.
Maybe nothing special also. E5.
You think so?
I don't
Okay,
know. Maybe
Queen-
it's
I mean Queen
a little
E3.
bit, maybe a little bit better for White,
Yes,
but
but yes,
not so much. Yes. Knight.
no, but Knight.
Oh yeah. Okay. E6. I don't know. It's
Okay.
it's also yes. It's also looks better for White, but
Yes, but,
yes, I think it's a game.
Yes, of
more.
course. Maybe you can take on E5. I think Knight B7,
Knight B7.
just Queen B6.
I don't don't know, maybe
Bishop
bishop
d4.
d5.
Okay, then maybe queen d7, bishop d4, knight c6.
Yes.
Then you can equalize somehow,
Yeah.
because a lot of exchange will be now.
Okay, I think
let's go to the
let's
last
go to
game.
yes. Sure.
Yakovenko against Krivoruch.
Yes.
And also this time I didn't see Nepomniachtchi in your team, and also Svidler. They are more aggressive. I mean, not positional players. More
Yes. Now,
tricky players. Yes.
yes. Now
So you
we have more positional team.
Yes.
Yes. Not because it's our idea, just because now we see that all players in our team has a more higher rating. Nepomniachtchi and Svidler. They are both fantastic players, but maybe their form not so good now. We don't know. We will see.
Yes,
Just
yes.
tournament on
course,
the
of
start.
course.
Yes. Dmitry played.
He's very solid.
He's very solid, and usually he played for team very well.
Yes.
He played in 2 Olympiads, and in both Olympiads he played perfect.
One I remember that you had at some moment he have after 9-7.5. Yes.
Yes, something like this.
Or 7. He was playing really very good.
Yes, and he played very well in Grand Prix.
Yes. So he's in a good form.
Yes. I think
he will
in
help
good
you
form.
to your
Yes, and he played white, and I think he has a very interesting position. Maybe with good initiative. Yeah.
Knight f3 to not let this Nimzovich.
Yes.
G3, bishop b7, some standard. Bishop g2, bishop b7, knight c3, knight d4.
Yes.
Usually this position is after castle. Yes, I think they get this. Okay.
Okay.
We will not talk about theory.
Yeah.
Okay, just bishop d2, just protecting the knight. Yes. And knight d2, queen d2. For the bishop, he will have some development. Bishop d6. Maybe bishop d4. Yes, now coming knight d4, knight c3, some tricks. Castle. Okay, castle. And rook c1.
It's a theoretical position.
Yes, of course. Queen d2, d6, yes.
And d5. Usually both e5.
E5, yes.
E5. It's, a lot of games played in this variation, but king d7 also.
Queen e7 is also possible. Knight d4. Took, yeah. Because DE is coming and take. And e5, yes. So he won't just to go to the same positions, but to exchange the bishop. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now we will see after the game. It's interesting. Or queen d2, just back.
f5. No, maybe it's f5. It looks
quite
strange.
dangerous.
Yes, quite dangerous. Looks dangerous for me. I don't know. F4
is e4 and g4.
And g4. Also logical move.
Yes.
I think white has a good
position.
Position here.
It looks like it's very good.
Yes, a lot of possibilities. Knight can goes to b5, d4, d1, e3. Yes. Also, after knight from c3 go somewhere. Rook can go to c3 also. And
yes, knight d1, rook c3 to bring the rook on g3, then knight e3.
Looks that white has
good position,
good initiative. After now black's move was bishop
c8 because no other move. Yes. I think.
But I don't know what's white black wants, because I don't like to.
Okay, but if g6, I think he's just afraid of that gf, then knight b5, knight d4, then pawn on f5, rook c3. Maybe it would be.
But now I have a time to play knight b5 because knight b5 not.
Okay, just queen d4, yeah.
Queen
now
d4,
he wants to take on f5, take on e4. Rook e8 is the only move, I think. Yes, which.
Now it's played, yeah.
Yes, took on f5, took on f5.
Okay. And knight d1. Looks very logical.
and bishop g4, the last move.
Mm-hmm.
So he have more time and I
Good
think better
position.
position.
Yes, yes, I think too. Yeah, I think too.
So just
Looks very interesting. Yeah. And
I think he can
maybe
even continue very active. I mean, knight f2, rook fe1, knight f2, bishop takes on e2.
okay. Oh, okay. Yes.
Something like this, bishop h5.
No, it's impossible.
And
maybe rook.
maybe rook, yes.
Maybe rook.
So queen,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yes, maybe.
No,
But okay, this looks very bad.
Very bad, yes.
I
Because
think it maybe
not-
very
yes.
important bishop
Bishop
h3
h3, yes,
to not
to-
let this knight.
yes.
Then
To
bishop
stop,
e6.
develop, yes, for queen side. Yes.
This looks
His position looks very good from
Yes.
white. Yes. Maybe after knight f2.
no, he don't have a move.
Really?
Okay, he will not back to f5.
Yes, because I just. Why? Because rook c3 is also.
No, rook c3, knight d7.
Yes.
So maybe this was the idea, yes, to not
Yes.
let the knight to bring.
Maybe.
But okay, he just get one more tempi. So maybe he
No, I think black should play after knight f2.
Just back, yes, yes, yes.
Because position looks very bad. But okay,
But maybe
rook
here we can
c3
play
maybe.
knight h1.
Maybe, but I just
The same.
prefer to develop my rook. Why not? Rook c3.
You want rook c3,
Yes, rook c3.
but then
Fair
knight
enough.
d7,
Okay. Rook
rook e3,
e3 maybe.
knight
Knight
f6.
e6. Looks dangerous, but maybe you're right. Maybe rook g3 is more interesting, not rook e3.
I think it's maybe just.
He wants to take something.
Yes, of course. Because I think the position is ready to be something more concrete.
Maybe
Because
you're right.
these
Yes.
pieces are, they are not in the game.
Yes, still not in the.
Because of the time, I think it's time to play very fast.
Yes.
Knight d7, knight g3, okay. It's just you have, I think, better position here.
Yes. What's going on correctly on your game? We don't know.
We
Yes.
don't know. It's just no moves here.
No moves here.
You can see the issue, or maybe it's some problem with
Maybe some problem with transmission.
Yes.
No transmission. Okay.
because anyway.
Yes. Again. But okay, we
Yes.
showed everything
Yes.
in this match. I think for starts it's very interesting, but all players in the game and
Yes.
fight
Fighting
game.
games, yes.
It's very interesting. Enjoy for fighting chess.
Okay. Thank you very much and you can always to come to be here to guest our
Okay.
guest.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
So dear friends, we will take a small pause and we will back soon. Dear friends, we're starting the World Team Championship match against continuing and we have first result. Ukraine made a draw first board, Ruslan Panamaryev against Alexander Grishuk, and we have a guest team coach of Ukraine, Mr. Suliba. Hello. So let's talk about how was your trip? How was
It was quite well.
yes you
Nice trip. It was about two hours, maybe 50 minutes to go from Kiev
from Kiev? You have
to
direct
Yerevan. Yeah, we have direct flight. It's very good.
comfortable.
Also, we have a friend in Yerevan, so we spent some good time evening, and late on 17th of April we come here.
To Zavkazari.
Yes, to Zakazor, and everything is fine.
Okay. So you liked everything.
Yes,
And
food,
you-
everything.
Okay.
You know, I can remark that Ivanchuk told me before the tournament that he won all tournaments played in Armenia.
In Armenia. I
Oh,
remember
oh.
that Tigran Petrosyan Memorial, the Rapid and Blitz European Championship. That
Yes, everything.
So okay, now this time, and it's very, you know, it's first time I'm seeing that Ivanchuk is playing not in the first board. What is the
No, it's some
just some team?
special team composition because
Uh-huh.
you know very difficult to win or to play very well such tournament as World Team Championship because it's very tough. There are all teams are strong. For example, even you take Egypt, very strong team. I remember last time we should lose against Egypt and Russia also
Yes,
was
they,
in, losing in trouble.
so now they also
no, it's some idea to put Vasily a little in the second board to have scored a lot of
more points.
points. Yes, because if you remember last Olympiad in Tromsø, Vasily
Yes, yes.
played very badly. You know,
He was in
minus
bad form,
one,
yes.
-1 and fast board.
Okay, then let's see how are going the games. Yes, and I think the drawing the first board it was quite okay. Yes,
Yes, it's logical.
It's nothing. We was just
So I can
Yes,
comment
yes.
the
okay.
first board. So it was array variation.
Just a moment, I will
Sicilian.
find the because we had looked with Mark a bit. Okay, this was the game. Yes,
Mhm.
D6.
So
D4 and Queen D4. Yes,
Okay,
Queen
Queen
takes D4. So usually maybe you didn't want to play knight of yes against Genishuk or
it's some kind of preparations, right?
okay.
Because you know now it's computer can
you
check.
can find everything in
Yes,
a
it's very difficult to have even small advantage for white, for example. If you find some small little advantages,
very
big advantage, big successes.
Okay.
So bishop d5. Yes, it's
A6,
it's rare move.
because bishop D7.
You know,
usually.
if I remember well, Grishchuk played in Blitz. This.
So you was prepared.
This move against Malakhov, if you remember well. You can check. I don't know, but I'm sure. But okay, it's rare range. No, we cannot prepare everything.
Okay. So
It was a little surprise, of course.
take and
5.
E5. This is the move. Yes.
Yes, it happens with games. That F6 is very rare line. Yeah. F6 is it's nice idea. Why not?
Yes.
2 bishops, center.
Yes.
I
But
like.
he have the problem with developing the pieces.
And some problem with pawns. Yes.
Take
If
E5.
take it's dangerous because
Yes. Okay.
nothing.
Queen A4. It's logical maybe. Queen D6. Castle. Knight E7.
Some logical. Maybe.
Yes. Knight C3.
Don't see any.
A5. Yes.
Oh, it's strong move. I think A5.
Yes. With
Because Queen D4 very good.
I was
idea.
thinking, you know, A3.
E3. Maybe.
Just, you know, to not let the queen b4. With the idea bishop e3, then rook d1.
Yes, logic. Yes. Maybe white had something. Okay.
Okay,
Development advantage we can.
Yes.
Okay, knight d2 after it's a little bit forcing line.
Queen b4, yes. Knight d e4. And you know, we was thinking also, the game continues bishop f5, yes, as I remember. But we was thinking about bishop d7.
The idea?
The idea is if you, okay, knight d5 is coming. If you take, we take knight d6, king d8, knight f7,
Nice.
and king e8. One
Very
more time.
nice.
So okay, the
Draw.
repetition
Draw.
is okay, and if knight h8, I think here
Yes.
blacks are doing fine.
Yes.
So, but the game was continuing bishop f5, yes. And I think he took on b4, yes. Then give, just
check the game.
yes, just check the
Split
game.
them.
Rook d1.
Rook d1 first, yeah. Your idea if take an e4 check is.
Okay, he took on e4. Queen takes, takes.
It's logical. It's nothing
Knight
here.
d5 and c4. Okay.
No further Grishchuk by after b3 and
Okay.
asking me and I said okay. Why?
But
I
okay,
think
so
it's-
it's just draw.
I
Knight
think
c3.
white have no reason to play this
Yes.
position.
Yes, okay. So
So
okay,
logical. So
yes, logical is draw and some
Second game, yes.
But okay, it's giving some problem. I could see the game. But
I can show you
Yes,
after because I remember.
just a moment. We have because we
Sicilian,
have
Najdorf.
yes we have Najdorf. We have this.
Okay,
This
main
is
line.
Main line,
Main line.
yes, old line.
Ivanchuk played a lot of time against Gerfan, for example.
And Queen
Okay, this is old line because nobody played now Queen
Yes.
D8, Queen Queen D7 or yes or without. Okay, it's another story. But okay, this position is white is better for me. I think
You think
I played this position. I lose it against Grandmaster Amador Rodriguez, if I remember. It was a little bit similar. He puts knight on d5 and was big problem with white squares. Okay, let's
see the
yes.
game is bishop f6 takes you
Interesting.
castle, bishop h3. This was the position
Yes, after it was g6,
g6.
knight d5, king h8, played queen e2, take on e6,
e6.
bishop take,
Bishop
and now Vasily played knight e3.
Oh,
It's very funny position now.
Very
Maybe not so
interesting.
bad, yeah, maybe not, because I take.
yes, he solves the
Now it's-
problems because
Yes.
some moves.
I
ago
lost
it-
this type of position without changing the white bishops. I mean white lighting bishops, and I was worst, little bit worst,
And you-
difficult to play, difficult because time travel was difficult. I remember.
But knight f3 is nice shot.
Very nice shot, yeah. I think maybe it's not so bad now.
Yes,
Look,
fine.
But
Knight
black
f3,
can-
bishop e6, you are okay.
two bishops
And if queen f3, just bishop d4.
like Sveshnikov variation, a little bit. Two bishops against,
Yes, but here you have this pawn on h2. It's a weak one, and
Yes. Engine is
we
good.
will have in the
And the ending is very good.
yes,
Yes. But problem how to
No,
reach
but
the ending.
Knight f3 is a very strong. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
you just
it's
give the exchange,
not
which
regular
is
position.
better
Because
for black.
before I estimated a little bit problems with this board. Okay, let's go to other.
Okay, here you had some d4. Yes, okay. This was
Yes, just c take d4. Right?
c take d4. Yes, this was the position.
Yes. And now what's happening
And
after?
now, okay, bishop d4.
Mhm.
We was thinking about knight a5.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not sure, but
Knight if. I cannot play knight c3.
knight c3.
I cannot. Yes,
just
because yes,
and here
yes.
it's just better.
Mhm.
And we thought that knight e5 must be
Mhm.
played, and but here I think white must be better.
Very good idea. Knight e5, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think knight a5.
Mhm. But he
It's
played
interesting. Yes,
bishop
he
in
played
d4.
okay, this is also interesting.
Okay, but it's really not so much.
Not so much. Yes,
Nothing.
knight take, bishop b4, queen c2,
Some small,
Some
small pressure, yeah.
queen e7, and
Nothing special.
by time, yes, yes,
Okay, by time is better
maybe
position.
he could
I think he will withdraw.
achieve something. But
This
if he
position. Yes, nothing special here.
yes, okay. I think knight a5 maybe
95.
was,
Yes, okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's some tactical move that we couldn't see, but I mean, black have some tactical motive here. Because otherwise, this exchange is, of course, it's good for white.
Yes, computer will show after
Yes,
the game everything.
yes. Okay, let's see your last game. Yeah?
Last game is dangerous position was, but now I don't know.
Okay. We was thinking the same. Okay, just I will show you.
Take.
This was the position.
Knight
Knight
f2.
f2. But you know, we was thinking that black must back to f5.
Yeah, maybe.
But then we found that it's interesting move knight h1.
Like Petrosan, yes.
Yes, like this. Okay, I mean
Yes,
the same
yes, yes.
idea. Knight must
Mhm.
attack the bishop.
Very nice. Yes, I think white is better. It's
and
clear here.
yes, and we thought it's just better.
Yes, of course. So what is the take? Yes.
Yes, but take, I think
Dangerous.
it's more dangerous. We thought rook e1. Okay, here we was thinking only bishop h5, but
then
e3.
three.
Yes,
Knight e4.
knight e4, bishop g4.
Yes, looks
But
not
looks not good.
looks terrible.
I mean, rook e3. Yes,
Yes.
probably. Knight d7, because check is coming now. Knight f6 check is
97.
knight d7 and rook c e1. I think. Again, knight f6 is coming.
Okay, so queen, for example, somehow
To
queen
f8.
maybe
H4.
aggressive. It's
Aggressive,
something,
yes.
but what to do?
Yes, maybe it's not so bad.
No, but
okay,
rook
rook
g3, rook g3.
Then
you
h3
know,
at some moment.
no, it's terrible.
Okay, it's just bad for okay,
It's very
just-
bad position.
So you have one draw and okay, Elyanov maybe draw. So Ivanchuk and Yakov
Yes.
Krivaruchko there. Two games
This
where
is difficult game, I think. Okay.
you think
Also short of time, yeah, of course.
yes. 34 against 23 minutes, and the position is better for white. So rook e3 and he's thinking in this position. But
But
maybe
not so much.
because you know maybe knight d7. Okay, knight d7 has played.
Okay, rook c1.
Rook c1 looks good,
Mhm.
but also maybe rook g3.
Maybe.
Bishop f5 then. Okay,
But I will take on e4 and maybe some draw chances.
you put the knight on f6, yes.
Maybe because, but not
But
sure.
rook c
Not
e1
sure.
looks very good. So I don't want to.
Want to play c1?
Ah.
Okay, no queen e4.
Maybe some queen f8 to protect also the pawn on g7.
Yes, but even knight g5, I don't know. Knight going to e6. Also,
Yes, you're right. Knight g5, knight d6.
poor position.
Looks very dangerous.
It's difficult positions.
It's not easy.
What to do? Okay, it's the first match.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, let's see how it's going to our match.
Yes.
Against.
Follow a lot of.
Okay, we have one draw.
Okay, I saw this.
Gelfand against Aronian.
Logical.
Yes, it was. I mean, we have this Catalan is
Double 8 balls.
this all we had already. But I think maybe here you have to not sacrifice the pawn.
Maybe.
Some bishop e3, but then we found queen c6 and
Knight d5. Yes. It's not so here.
okay, so just. But then rook d6 is really very strong.
Yeah, very strong.
Because rook d3, rook d1, then
Yes,
white
yes.
is better.
I saw this moment. He thought for a long time.
Yes, and the problem is I was thinking that maybe rook c1 is the idea, but then we found h5 just rook c4, rook d3 is coming. So we'll just see how to continue the game, how to finish the game. Boris played rook b1.
Yes, for me, Romania is one of the favorite here.
Rook b1, rook b1.
Because
rook
playing
c6.
home, you know.
Always motivating.
Yes, good motivation also.
King f2, rook d3, and
I think we're playing tomorrow. With
tomorrow.
Romania, yes.
Tomorrow we're playing against Ukraine. Okay, I didn't see the
I think.
pairings. I mean, only for today. So this position was agreed to draw, so which is logical.
Change the rest.
Take on a3, take on c7, check king g1, rook a3, king f2. This was the line of. This was the
Agreed.
Yeah.
So Sapolsky game is interesting.
Let's see the Sarkisian against Sutovsky. I think here we have better chances.
Yes, right, was better.
This was the position which
Mhm.
we were stopped. Bishop e3. And we thought that here white is better.
Yes,
I mean,
especially
because
that
of this-
position on
of Sutovski's
style.
yes,
Yes, position
yes,
of Gabi style.
yes, yes.
Plays
He
this.
took on 3.
It was a game, yeah?
Yes, he took and c5. Okay, he just wants to sacrifice and the pawn, knight c5. Because otherwise, I was thinking how to play. It's not easy. Just
Yeah,
rook ac1 is coming, pawn is hanging. Also, at some moment I can take on b6, take on c6, just the pawn.
No, I just rook c1, queen e3 for example.
Yes.
Queen c4.
Take c5. It's interesting. So knight c5. Bishops take e5. I have to take on b6.
Yes.
He have to take on b6. So knight a6.
And bishop
And
d6.
bishop d6, catching the knight.
Interesting.
He played it in his style.
It was the game, yeah?
Yes, it was the game. Rook ac1, rook a8, and rook c6. So now I think he can have 2 options. First rook a6, rook d6, rook a2, rook b6, rook c8. I mean, I can show this.
Yes, I understand. Rook d2, one pawn.
One rook d6 and rook c8.
Rook
d2.
d2, check this. Okay,
This is good chances.
Good chances.
Yeah.
Because king going to the center, yeah, that's good chance.
Okay, this is
Of course.
and the second move, which I am thinking, that bishop h2 check.
What still is chances?
But still is
Rook is.
yes. I think we better is for black to play maybe another, or maybe rook b8 now, and to move the rook.
Okay, rook d3, rook b3. Still is
good.
And king coming to. But not easy to win. Yes, rook b7.
No, but rook b7 just rook
Still,
b5.
yeah, rook b5 and king.
e4 d5 maybe king is coming. Still it's good.
White is better.
Ah, okay, he took on h2.
White is better, but it's not easy to win.
Yes, not easy to win. And rook a6, this is the position in the game.
b3 is. Yes.
So
But
now,
you know, if you play e3, for example, here, continue. Yes, rook b8, maybe I can put my rook on 7th. Maybe here, rook c7 here.
with the rook f1, yes I did.
Rook e5 and back and something do some double. Maybe
Yes.
some idea.
But maybe I can play rook a5.
Rook e5. Yeah. So just yes, it's possible.
But okay, even no, but e4 then okay, rook d8. So I will have conflict.
Yeah. Difficult.
It's important. Otherwise, rook
Yeah,
c7
otherwise
is very
rook
strong.
e4 double 1-7 range.
Yes, it looks very strong.
Okay, cross. Okay, white is better, but
Yes.
50-50.
Okay. So let's go to Smirin Movsisyan. Here we have this sharp line, which is always
Yes,
played by
yes.
Movsisyan.
Lot of times.
So
Okay, typical C4.
typical c4.
Typical position of the
Yes,
games.
yes. a5. So we were stopping somewhere here. Okay, rook f3. Okay, I was thinking also rook h3, just to bring the rook somewhere. f5. I think it's strong move. Just
Control E,
Yes,
A4
yes.
also. Yes, very
also
strong.
rook f8, rook f7, so he will not have the problems. Queen d2, rook a8, preparing I think knight b6, then a4,
No any problems with that.
bishop g5. I think after f5 he solved his all problems. Knight d3 to protect, a4, h4, take, queen d8 to not let to play h5. Rook g3, gained bishop g5, rook g5, rook e7, h5, rook g7.
This is again, yeah?
This is the position. I think also landing in a draw.
Yes, I see.
Probably it's looks,
Black solid.
Yes, and lot of changes. So h takes g6.
B3 is weak. Yeah.
Or maybe some b4, then
Okay. Yes, it's small draw, close the draw.
so we have one draw and this probably draw. So we have one better position, and the last one, Apopian against Rothstein. But here was some interesting, but now I think we don't have a pleasant position.
Okay, you can put support.
Yes, we can go. I think it was somewhere here that we played a4.
I saw white was better.
Yes. But then I think things gone not in a good way for us, We saw that I remember this position with b4, so it was queen c8.
Yes.
You want just to bring the knight from d8 and to play c6.
But still, it's white.
Okay, but then queen c2, knight d8, rook a7, knight d6. Now knight f4 is coming. Bishop b3, and very strong move bishop d8.
To b6.
Yes, so it looks like rook a7
Not very good.
was just give a tempo. Queen a2, just some bishop b6, rook a3, queen d8, d4. He can take because of this f7 pawn is hanging. Queen f6, d takes e5, d takes e5. I think it's just black is just better.
If you
Two
can
bishops.
some maybe.
Yeah.
I'll like
King c2. I think you have to play king g2, but then c5. You have to take, otherwise c4. Bishop takes c5. Rook a6. Bishop b6, rook a3.
No, it's a position.
This is the position, and black, I think
That
black's
was I'm afraid this pushing the pawns on
h5, g5. Yes,
Yeah,
something.
yes. So dangerous a little bit.
Also possible some rook bc8 attacking on c3.
Yes, so
Knight
Simple.
f4 check. Knight f4 check. Maybe
Some moments,
Some moment.
it's dangerous position. Yeah, you're right.
And low on time. 18 against
No,
34.
18. That's okay.
Yes, but anyway,
Yes, this is a little bit
with uncomfortable position.
is not good.
Okay,
So
so
here is clear.
so I think we have Movsisyan. I think we will end it in a draw. So we will have 1-1, and we have better position.
Better or worse.
Yes, one better, one worse. Okay, so we hope.
Good luck. Good luck.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, we will take a small pause. Dear chess friends, we back to the games. So start the games with Gabriel Sargsyan against Emil Sutovsky. We stopped in interesting moment where Emil took on h2. This was the position. King take h2, rook takes a6, a3, and here we was thinking about rook b8, but Sutovsky find another variation. He played rook fa8 and rook dc1. He tries to play b5. He wants to change one pair rooks. So he is thinking that if he will change one more rook, so his chances for draw will be higher. Gabriel take on a6 because rook c5, then maybe even blacks can sacrifice the pawn, and this pawn is not a big deal for winning. Some king g7, then we'll have good drawing chances. Rook a2, rook a4, very active position. So Gabriel take on a6, Emil take on a6, rook c8, check, king g7, rook b8, and rook a5. They have now is rook endings, both have 5 pawns, but Black's rook is very bad, very passive, and this is giving white some chances to fighting for a win. And was playing a g4, very strong move, which is stopping these 3 pawns. Now if not g4, then black would play h5, then g5 at some moment, and starting some counter chances to have some pawn on h. Because of this, g4 is very strong. Now if h5, then g takes h5, g takes h5, and some king g3, king h4. White will start attack on pawn h5, then rook will stay on b7, we will attacking pawn on f7 and b5. So later on, black maybe will be on Zugzwang, because just no move with the rook, no move with the pawns, and king couldn't protect all these weaknesses. So this is the position. After g4, blacks are thinking. Okay, let's see the game of Vladimir Akopyan. He played rook a3. Rochdane can repeat the moves with bishop c5, rook a6, but okay, he understands that his position is better, and he continued the game with rook e8. Now attacking the pawn on c3. Vladimir answered with bishop d5, protecting the pawn on c3. Also, the bishop is very active and very strong on d5, so it's very important and strong place for the bishop. Knight c7. Now black attacks the white bishop and want to exchange a very strong and important bishop. And here maybe it was possible also to just back bishop b3, but whites decide to play c4 just to change the last weakness on their position, pawn c3, and just to continue game only in the king side. Now if white will change these pawns, they will solve their problems. Of course, black have some initiative. They have 2 bishops, but one weakness is not enough to win. So c4. Now white just want to change the pieces. And the last position in this match is a game of Sisian against Ilya Smidin. So the position was very interesting, very sharp position. And this was the position when we stopped the games. So in this position, white take on a g6, black take on g6, rook back to g3, because it's hanging on g5. White can't move the queen because of this rook, so white just remove the rook from the g5, and now maybe b4 will come, some counter chances. Also knight f4 will possible at some moment to attack these pawns, and queen h6, of course, with some attacking motives. So rook g3, this is the position, and Sergei played queen e7, protecting one more time pawn c5, pawn e6, and if he will need now on queen h6, he could play some knight f8. So I think blacks are okay. It should be nothing special. It must be fine for them. So let's see how is the, maybe are some results in other teams. So Cuba against Hungary, they have Dominguez against Leko, they ended in a draw. Almashi against Bruzon ended in a draw. And they have 2 games. Quezade against Richard. Quezade have very good position, he's pawn up and maybe have decisive advantage. And the last game, the Hungarian player have today Hungarian player Balog probably have winning position. So 2 draws and 1 winning position for Hungarian and 1 for Cuba. So probably the match will ending in a draw. Let's see Egypt against India. Semi Shoker against Hari Krishna. I think Hari Krishna have better position. And Setu Raman against some problem with connection in this match. China against USA. I think Yakovenko could play better somewhere here. He was thinking Queen F8, also he was thinking Knight G5, but was possible maybe some other moves. And here a lot of changes, and it gives Black good chances for draw now. Maybe King F8, King E7, very solid position. So we couldn't see the position. Sergei Karagin against Ivanchuk, and Elyanov is okay. He have small advantage against Tomaszewski, but he have more time than Tomaszewski, and he have to play 20 moves, but he have only 5 minutes. Of course, with increment 30 seconds. So still Tomaszewski must solve some problems. In the Movsesian games, game continues Knight F4, Knight F8. We just attacking the pawns and just protecting the pawns, because G5 is impossible because of Knight H5. I think very strong attack must. Also Knight H3 is possible. If G4, just Knight F4, and F4, just Knight G4. White is just doing fine. So this is the position, the game in Movsesian, and let's see how is going the game to Gabriel Sarkisian against Emil Sutovsky, where White have some small advantage. This was the Okay, this was the position that we go to the pause, but then they played the line which we was analyzing. H5 takes king g3. Rook endings both have 4 pawns, but again we mentioned that rook on a5 is really very bad one, so it's very passive, and white now start to play king h4 and some attack on pawn h5. Black must activate his king somehow and maybe to exchange some pawns, but the evaluation of the position is not changed, so white is just better. Smirin played b4. Movsisyan take on b4, then queen d4. Okay, I think white must have some. Now is if some move knight. Yeah. Also knight h5 is winning, but knight d5 is also very nice here. Check, and so now whites want to play knight d5, and black can take the knight because check and rook is hanging on a8, and if not taking, then knight f6 is coming. So this is the position. Here Roshtein take on d5, c takes d5, queen d6, and rook a6. I think black have some better chances because of 2 pair bishops and more better pieces. I mean, the knights didn't have a good squares in the center and anywhere, just they didn't have a good squares. So, but the fight will continue because it's very interesting position. Also, maybe white can play some knight b3 and maybe queen b2 attacking on pawn e5, starting to annoying this pawn on e5. Maybe black have to play at some moment f6, but then knight h4, knight d5 will come. So, okay, Roshtein played f6 because maybe he have to play at some moment. Maybe not exactly now, but at some moment, at some point, he have to play this move. Otherwise, he couldn't protect this pawn on e5. The game Sargsyan against Sutovsky was some 2 moves. Let's see them. King g6. King g6, black tried to activate his king. Rook g8 check will not help because some move with the queen, then rook must have to back to b8 and f6. Black's just maybe want to play h4, h3, then king will come to take, then king f5, king e4 to sacrifice the pawn and try to activate his king. But now white have to make a move because I think e4 is a possible move, but maybe this check is possible because king e5 b4, and if not king e5, some king e3, then king g5. It should be Okay, for black. So this is the position, king f4, f6. In China and USA, one draw, Varuzhan Akopian against Yi Wei. So China, USA, half and half. They have ending in a one draw. And the rest games, Jing Liren against Samuel Shankland is equal. Yu Yangyi against Lenderman is equal. And Bu Xianji is also about equal. So the logical result, USA against China, it's 4 draws. I mean, so it must be ending in a draw. Let's see how it's going in the games of India against Egypt. Semi Shoker is have worse position against Hari Krishna. Okay, let's just back to our game. Sargsyan played rook b6. He attacked the pawn on e6. King f7 was the logical move to protect the pawn. And here now Sargsyan is thinking. Let's see what happened in Smirin's games against Movsisyan. This was the position where we mentioned that knight d5 is coming, so rook d8 to not let such things, queen b6, rook c8. Very interesting position, but logically equal position, so I think at some moment this pawn will change and draw will be agreed. Let's back to the game. Vladimir Agobian against Vladimir Agobian against Rothstein. Vladimir played king knight h4, Rothstein king h7. So now will be more interesting moments. Now all players will have some time trouble. Not all, but several players will have time trouble. So it will be interesting to transpose the games very fast to see what is going everywhere, what are doing there. So Gabriel repeat one time the position to take a time to save them. Moves, he played rook b7, again king g6. Maybe you have to find some idea how to continue the game, because e4, black have also e5 and also have some rook a4. They can't move the king because it's okay. Gabriel played rook b6, king f7, and he played e4. Because now if rook a4, I think at least he can take. But then f5 is coming. Rook a4, what he have to be to prepare for this. Okay, maybe he have to take and king e3, but then e5. It should be okay for black. So maybe just king e3, just protect the pawn, and now b5 pawn is hanging. If k5, just d5, just go forward. But this, I think e takes d5, e takes d5, b4 maybe. Very close to draw, because 2 pawns against 2 pawns should be draw. Okay, this is the position, e4, and Sutovsky is okay. He played h4 immediately. Okay, if now king g4, it's very, I think, easy. Rook a4, it's just draw. Rook d6, because just king e7 and e5, just take on e5 because of this pin. He couldn't take on e5. So this is the position, h4. It's very interesting game, but very small material, so it's not easy to continue the game. I mean, e5, d5, it's not easy. Okay, let's see how he's playing Movsisyan against Smithy. We just protect, Smithy just protect the pawn on c4. Now c5 maybe is coming. Rook b3 is also coming. Very interesting position. Now maybe some queen c5, somehow try to equalize the position. Queen c5, maybe queen b7. But then take, I mean, to sacrifice the pawn. But black will have good chances for drawing the rook endgame. Okay, check is coming, but okay, maybe black have to not to do these things. Maybe they could find more better move to defend this position. Maybe rook c7 to have this rook b7 important move. Let's see what happened in the game. Vladimir Akopyan. This moment he played knight f5, bishop takes f5, pawn takes f5, and queen d7. Just hanging the pawn on f5. Also the pawn on d5 is not the best one. So g4, then b4, bishop d4, then rook d8 is coming. I think it's just better for black. Just good position. Bishop is stronger than knight, and king is very safe. I think it's just better for black, so let's see. the game of Sargsyan, because very interesting rook ending. This was the position, e4, h4, and Gabriel played d5. Now I think Black should take on d5, but then it's not easy to make a move. Because king f5 is coming. And if h3, then king g3. Or why did we just pawn up? But what else? e5 looks helpless, because just king e5, just lose the game immediately. He takes d5, he takes d5. I think it must be played. And here Black have to find some move to escape the scheme. Rook a4 check looks okay. Emil, they take on d5, so if rook a4 check, then king f5. Maybe it's possible to play some b4, but then rook b4, rook d5, and king g4. Probably here Black will have some drawing chances. They must activate their king e6, king h4, king e5, because otherwise I didn't see how to play. So this is the position. Vladimir Akopian played in this position. He played g4, protect the pawn on f5, which is okay. You don't have the choice, so you have to prepare the. You have just to. Not give the pawn on f5. You have to protect the pawn on f5. But also you have now a problem with the king. Maybe some rook d8. Just attacking on the pawn on d5, and I didn't see the move which can protect this pawn. Just no move. And let's see the game of Sergei Movsisyan. How is he playing? He played queen b7 as we thought. So he also just want to escape for a draw. He just want to sacrifice the pawn. But this front end game must be okay for Black. Rook c7 is possible. Even maybe this rook c7, bc7 just to attack, and if exchange the rooks, it can be close to be a draw. but okay, it's still a fight. We will see what will happen. Endgame against Gabriel Sargsyan. Sutovsky played. He takes d5, he takes d5. And he played king g6. Now if d6, I think you want to play check. And if king f3, just rook d4. And if king e3, there is a possible move h3. d7, rook e8. King f2 maybe. But very complicated position. Maybe king f7 just to come take the pawn, or rook d8. Okay, let's see what happened. King g6. Okay, Gabriel is still thinking. Because king g4, some check, then rook d4, king is coming to g5. Very interesting position. Okay, let's back to the game of. Let's see how we are playing Ukraine against Russia. Elianov had some better chances against Tomaszewski, and I think Yakovenko also have some better chances. Okay, we will take a small pause and we will back after some 5-10 minutes. Dear friends, we continue the first round games. So let's start with the game of Gabriel Sargsyan against Emil Sutovsky. We stopped in a 37 move when black played king g6. So continues d6, king f7, rook b7 check, king e6, d7, black have to play king e7 and king g4. Now probably black will give the rook a4 check, king h3, and okay, white is again it's better, but black still have good chances for draw. It's possible to play rook a4 check, I think, king h3 and b4, some interesting sacrifice of pawn. So okay, here we have Armenian team have some advantage, and he will try to, Gabriel will try to win this game. So the next move is Smirin against Movsisyan. We stopped when blacks play queen b7, white takes on b7, rook takes on b7, knight g6, knight g6, rook g6 check, and king h7. We was thinking king f7, but Sergei played king h7 and Smirin played rook g3. Interesting move. Now whites want to attack on black king, made some mating attack about starting with king h2, which is possible also. King h2, then rook h1, or maybe some c5, rook c4, and if black will play b3, then maybe they will play rook b1 and attack the pawn d. Okay, here Smirin have better chances, but Movsisyan can hold the draw, because rook ending, as we know, it's very drawish endings and material is not so much, so black have good chances for draw. They have good pawn on b4, which is very aggressive, which is very dangerous for white. So okay, now they in all positions up 30 minutes, so they will take a think. Let's see the last game in this match. Vladimir Agopian against Maxim Rothstein. We stopped in rook d8. Sorry, we stopped in 36 move g4, and Maxim continues just rook c5, attacking the rook with this side. Knight e4, then continues rook c4. Of course, maybe possible was rook d5, but rook c4 I think is better. Rook e1, protect the knight, because knight can't move. Knight can't move because of the pawn on g4. So rook e1 was played. Queen d5. Blacks take the pawn, and now blacks are pawn up. Queen e2. Queen b7, attack the rook. Rook a2 and rook e8. What to say about this position? Blacks are just pawn up, and probably they have winning position. The pawn b sooner or later will start to move, and it will be a big problem for white. How to stop the pawn? King is under the pin on diagonal a8, h1. Also the bishop on b6 is not not worse than knight on e6. King on h7 is very safe. So okay, now I think okay, Vladimir take on a8 because no other move. Queen takes on a8. And okay, Vladimir is still thinking. It's not easy to make moves in this position. Okay, let's see our finished some other games, some other matches how are going. Let's start to Cuba against Hungary, or okay, let's see China against USA. Okay, as we saw, they have one draw, Akobian Varuzhan against Yi, and now Buxianji is playing against Onishuk, which is very drawish position. They have rook ending with 5 pawns, probably will ending in a draw. Alexander Lenderman against Yu Yang is absolutely draw, and the last position, Zingliren with white trying to fight for a win. And okay, I think it was some moment that it was really very drawish, but now white have a good chances for win in this queen ending. So okay, let's go to Ukraine against Russia. 2 games are finished draw. Ponomarev against Grishuk, Yakovenko against Krivoruchko. And we can't see the game Karyakin against Ivanchuk, but Elyanov had better chances against Tomaszewski. Probably it's drawish, but still Black have to fight for draw because king is they have a bad king and some attacking chances. Egypt against India. Hari Krishna won to Sami Shoker. Gujarati Vidit Santosh won to Ahmed Adli. Sengupta win the game against Ali Farhat, and the only Egyptian who won the game, Mohammed El Sherif, beat with black pieces to Seturaman Panayapan. So the first match which finished that whole match was finished that India won 3-1 against Egypt. So let's go to another matches to see. Vladimir Akopian continues h4. He's trying to take some counterplay in the king side. Now he wants to play g5. So, and maybe he will have some counterplay. g5 is coming, and now blacks are who have to find some move to prevent the move g5, which will give to white good attacking chances to the king of black. Let's see what happened in the games of Sutovsky. Okay, Sutovsky against Sargsyan. The game is very close to draw. I think after 1-2 moves they will agree a draw. We were stopping in move 41 when played king g4. As we mentioned, black played rook a4, and on king h3 b4 is very strong. This sacrifice of pawn, white have to take a b and rook a2. White have to take on h4, rook b2, b5, rook d2. This is the position in the game, and I think soon they will agree a draw because it's just rook d7 is coming next move, and I can't see the move which can continue the game, give the chances. So it will be 2 draws. Aronian and Sargsyan will be draw. Let's see what happened in the game, what are going in the game. Smirin against Movsisyan. The game is very interesting. Rook g3, and Sergei played b3. He's pushing his pawn. Rook c3. Very interesting move now. Black played rook cb8, because if b2, then rook h3 check, king g7, rook g3 check, king f8, rook h8 check, king f7, and rook h7. Then taking the rook and protecting the b1 square. So white is winning if black will play b2. Because of this, Sergei chose the rook cb8. Then Ilya give the check from h3. So now let's see what can be happened. King g7, rook cg3 check, king probably f7, Rook h7 check, king f8. I think this game will ending in a draw. So it's just I mean by perpetual check, because it's just no move. So they are hoping that they will make a draw, and the last game Vladimir Akopyan against Rothstein, we will see how it will continue. Sergey played on rook h3, he played king g8. Okay, it's not a big deal. I mean, I think it's not a big difference against this move. Anyway, on this check on from g3, he couldn't play rook g7 because of rook b3. Sargsyan played b6. Sutovsky take on d7. Probably rook a7 will be played, but then I think king e6 is enough strong. On b7 to give the check and play rook b4, which is just draw. Because otherwise, if some move like king d6, then b7, and if king c7, then check, and if rook d8, then rook a8 is coming. So I think the last correct move will be here. If rook a7, then just king e6 and agree a draw. And like we said in the Movsisyan and Ilyas Mirin, they are repeating the moves with rook h8, rook h7. So now we will see how we'll ending the games. The last game of Vladimir Akopyan h4, and Rothstein played bishop d8 to not letting the pawn to go g5. Smirin and Movsisyan agree a draw. Like we said that Sargsyan played rook a7, and the last correct move king e6. I think they will agree a draw. So now we will have the last game. Vladimir Akopyan against Maxim Rothstein. Akopyan is playing white, but he is pawn down and defending the worst position. But let's see how we're playing other matches. So it's not any result somewhere. So we will continue this match, and we will see. We will wait to players agree draw in the games. Sargsyan against Sutovsky, and the last board Vladimir Akopyan against Rothstein. Okay, bishop d8. Just not letting to play g5. Now Vladimir is thinking how to find some move. Okay, Gabriel take on d7 and just agree a draw. So okay, now we have 3 draws, and the last game. Sargsyan agreed draw against Sutovsky, and now we have the last game of the match. Vladimir Hakobian against Maxim Rothstein. Hakobian is playing white, but okay. Now maybe he can find some tactical, I mean some queen f3 with ideas knight g4, knight f6 to capture the queen. But okay, let's see what we do. Vladimir have 21 minutes and Maxim have 29 minutes. So let's see how we're going the game. But I think some practical chances white have because of white squares near the black king are weak, and because of this they must have some chances, some counter chances. Probably g5 at some moment, but I think maybe king g3 it's possible. Just remove the king from this pin and try to play g5 at some point. But here maybe some check or queen c6 just to bring the pieces. Anyways, very hard to give good advice to white how to play this game. Okay, dear friends, we will just take a small pause and we will continue soon. Dear chess friends, we have a special guest, Varuzhan Hakobian from USA, but originally, as you know as well, Varuzhan is from Armenia. Varuzhan?
Yeah. Hi Zaven, thanks for having me here. And yeah, I'm glad to be back in Armenia and playing this very prestigious tournament. And so I guess we can take a look at some of the games.
Yes. Maybe we can start from your game. You will say some words about your game.
Yes, let's take a look at my game. It wasn't a very interesting game, but anyway, I knew that my opponent Wei Yi plays the Grunfeld defense.
So yes. You can show us
on this board.
Yeah, on this board.
So yeah, I played d4 and he played knight f6, and yeah, it was just, oops. So knight c3, d5. So he plays the Grunfeld defense. It's his main opening. So we expected he will play this probably. I also played him previously about a year and a half ago, and he also played that against me. So I decided to go for this line.
For the main line.
Main line. Well, actually, it looked like I'm going to play the main line, but I played this move here, bishop b5 check.
Okay.
So I also played this recently at the U.S. Championship, and my opponent, Grandmaster Gatakowski, played bishop d7. But I think, I'm not sure this is the best move. But there was a recent game played by my opponent, and I was, repeating that, and had some small idea there. Small idea, nothing big. So, but yeah. So for many years they used to take this and to take on d4, pawn takes d4, bishop d4, the g4 takes. And anyway, this is it's probably equal, but okay, white always has some small ideas. Okay, if black plays perfectly, it's probably going to be a draw. But he played this move, and this is actually also very interesting, because this way he's not allowing me to play a lot of the rook. Like for example, rook c1. Now I'm losing a pawn, and so it's very, very tricky move.
So you didn't do the move?
Yeah, I knew the move. I was expecting he would do this, but then he did something different. So here, this is a critical position here, and actually white has 3 different continuations. So bishop c6 you can play, but for example now, if you play rook c1, it's not the same because the c file is not open, and he plays pawn e5, and black is doing okay here. I mean, white doesn't have anything. So this one I didn't want to do this. So the other option was to play d5. And this is very interesting. Yes, more principle, but also I'm not sure if I have anything here. He plays knight e5, bishop e2, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3.
Why not pawn takes f3?
Okay, you can start with knight f3.
Ah,
for
so
example.
GF bishop
GF
h3.
bishop h3,
Okay.
bishop c3.
So this is correct.
So he's forcing this line, and I'm not sure. Take on c3.
This is the Kramnik
rook
issue
d1.
game, no?
It could be, yeah. I don't know. I just bishop c5. I knew all this. This was my preparation, but I don't know. I didn't think I have anything special here. So let's
Maybe
go
some
queen a4. Yeah. Let's go queen a4, rook fc8. So it's very hard to find advantage against Grunfeld nowadays, even if you have a lot of time to prepare and computers, programs. It's still not easy to find anything. So I decided to play this move. He actually had a game like this, and I had a small idea there. So he played queen c7 here. So I was hoping he would maybe repeat this, and I had some small ideas, yeah. But he played bishop c3 quickly. It was a little bit strange.
Prepared.
He was prepared, but after I played this move, it was very strange. He started to think. And actually, I checked in a database after the game. There's only four or five games played in this position. One of the games is actually Michael Royce from Israel. He played this position, bishop g7. But it was strange. My opponent started to think, and at some point, I had a 45-minute time advantage on the clock.
Ah,
so he played here, and I took on c6. Okay, I can play h3, but I don't think I have anything here. Bishop takes f3, queen f3, knight d4 takes. Okay, yeah. But it's probably just equal. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. But bishop d4, rook f d1. That might be a little bit unpleasant, but yeah, I didn't like this. So I was hoping to get this position. It's probably equal, but I take queen a4. Well, I want to get this position. If I can get this position, like queen c8, I think I might be a little bit better because now the a7 is weak and c6 pawn is weak, and yeah, maybe we can highlight this. Oops, I think control, yeah, maybe alt, yeah, oops, yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah, cancel it, yeah. So a7 pawn is a little bit weak and c6, and if I can get this position, I don't have any risk here.
Yes, you will play.
I can just play. I was hoping to get this position, and for some reason I thought my opponent cannot do anything. He has to go for this position because I have a very obvious threat now, knight d4 coming. But he played an excellent move here. I did not know this move. This was very strong. Yeah, queen d7. The reason this move is very strong because
rook fd1.
That's what I played. Yes. First of all, if I go knight d4, he even has maybe rook fd8.
So knight c6,
rook h8. I'm not sure. Yeah. So I played rook fd1, but the problem now is he plays queen e6, and I cannot move my knight because he takes on d1 and attacking my queen. Yeah. Because if I can get knight g5 here or f3, I have a very nice position, but I couldn't do it. So this was very, very unpleasant here. A little bit, yeah. Not very unpleasant. Just I had to find a good move here, and I think I did because I'm not sure what to do here. Next, he wants to
rook d8.
Rook d8. Yeah. So I played rook d3. Now I'm actually threatening knight g5 and f3. So let's say if he plays rook fd8, or rook a8 is probably more precise here for him. So I was going to play knight g5, attacking the queen. Queen goes back on c8. I take takes, and I go h3. And I think the next move I take on a7.
It's good.
And I have extra pawn, and it's not so clear. But I think I can play for the win. But he played correctly here. He took. And actually, this is very interesting. Queen h3, and here the problem is I cannot take on c6. And if I take on c6, the problem is not queen f3 because queen f3 it's probably maximum white black can maybe do a perpetual here. But this is a very unpleasant move, bishop e5.
f4.
Now if I play f4, he takes, and the rook is on d3 now is hanging. So that's why I cannot play this move. So yeah, that's why. And yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because originally I thought maybe I can take the pawn, because now actually I think I found the right move, because if I don't play this move, I don't want to play f4 here. It weakens my position, yeah.
Maybe rook d8 you will play.
Rook d8, yeah. So I play queen d1.
More solid.
Yeah, I don't think I have any advantage here. It's already, I don't have maybe, yeah. I don't have any advantage here. He played a move that I did not expect here. He played queen h4. I think this might be slightly inaccurate. Queen is actually well placed here. I did not see a reason why I should move this. I think he should play rook b8, and I think it should be about equal. But after he played this move, this allowed me to play king g2, which I was happy about. And now,
so now you can
bishop
get the
b5, I
position
go
which you
h3.
want.
Yeah, but the problem is now my queen is not as active. So he plays now rook a b8, and I thought maybe it's going to be dangerous to allow this rook to go to b2, and so I just wanted to play safe. So I played rook b1, and now I played bishop e5, activating the bishop. So in these positions, my bishop is actually better than his bishop. Strangely, yeah, because his bishop is just not doing anything. Pawn on c5. Again, my dream is to win this pawn somehow. If I win this pawn, then I have really good winning chances. But I don't have time because he played the correct move here. Now I don't have queen b7. So I had to play h3, and now I played another very good move here.
So you just want to make a draw, yeah?
Yeah, now, well, if he doesn't do that, I think he's risking.
B7, yeah,
he's risking queen b7. He has
rook b8.
He has rook b8, but rook b8.
d1.
Yeah, well, I can, if I want to draw, I can go rook b3 also here, if I just want to make a draw. But I think I go queen d1, rook d8.
You don't have any risk.
I don't have any risk, yeah. Well, today I didn't want to play very risky. I wanted to just play for two results. I didn't want to take too much risk. That's why I played this safe line. So he played bishop f4, and now I had to play queen c1, and now he has to exchange because, play queen g5 check here. And he needs to be careful if he tries to be more ambitious and play like something like e5. I think here he might be slightly worse now. Rook d6, and
king on e2 is very good.
King on e2, and I go queen c3 now. And I think he's might be risking now. Because king goes on e2, and he doesn't have any threats. So he played very precisely this sequence here. Takes. Queen takes, and he thought about it. He thought about maybe taking here. It's probably the draw. Okay, if anybody is better, maybe me, because I can go to a3. It should be a draw, but
c5 pawn,
yeah,
it's
it should be a draw, but okay. But he played a good move here again, queen e5. And now I go king g2 just to make sure he doesn't come in on h2. So I go here. Now I played another good move, rook b8. And here I spent some time. I was trying to calculate some ideas, so I realized I should get my rook to the 7th rank. Rook is very active here. And the point is now if he plays a5, I can go to a7. So it's probably equal, but now he played a good move, rook b1. So now he's threatening queen a1. And I didn't see anything here for me, so I just went for queen h6. So now threatening mate. Yeah. If he goes queen b8, he can only be worse. My position is very active.
You can take on e7.
Yeah, just take on e7, yeah. So he went back. And the problem is now my c5 pawn is hanging. Well, I also had this idea. I could have taken this pawn, but I think, I don't know, it's just...
You can play e5.
Yeah, it's just a draw. So I went back. I didn't see any point to take any other chances. I just went here, took a draw. So, yeah, it's not a very exciting game, but I think both of us we played okay with it.
But very interesting game. It was very side the line, so it was very interesting.
Yeah, it's not the main line of Grunfeld. I had some small ideas, and again, I just didn't want to play too risky today. So, so that's fine. So it's draw, and I hope we can make a draw today. I don't know.
Yes, we can see your last
check
game.
On the Shankland game and see if how we're doing here. Because it's still loading. So there are 3 draws at the moment with the USA versus China match, and on the board 1, Sam Shankland is playing Dingler trying to defend.
But I think one moment he was absolutely fine,
yes.
But then he maybe made some...
Yeah, I think g5 was not a very good move.
No, I didn't know the exactly move, just I saw that he was...
He played g5, and actually it looked like there was a forced win at some point. Okay, so...
Still problems.
Yeah, still problems. Yeah, it's as you can see, it's not easy.
You can put the position, I think, here.
Yes, you can. So it's still some small, I don't know what's the... There's some problems. So maybe you can get a new board. Or,
Anyway, we don't need
we don't need that. Okay. Yeah, at some point, there was a chance for Dingler when he actually had a full forced win.
And he didn't see it.
He didn't see it, yeah. So it's who's to move, it's white to black to move, yeah. So black to move. So okay, so the question is,
h5 was the last move.
h5 was the last move, yeah? So the question is what to do here. So,
You can't move the queen, yeah?
yeah, can I move the queen?
But maybe queen e1 is possible.
Queen e1, I think there's a problem. Queen e8, queen
Then-
d6, and takes this pawn to check.
So maybe,
Maybe b4, yeah?
but then with checks he will take on b4. I mean d8, c7, b8.
Yeah.
and- So I will protect the
so maybe it's
maybe king h8.
maybe king h8, yeah, just to wait. But that looks unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very unpleasant. Yeah, so this is
I think even just check and to take some
okay, queen
queen,
e8 there.
take on c6.
Equals c6, 2x.
But even this on
Okay, this is
even
still-
on e6 he could take.
take on e6, yeah.
I think maybe it's already.
Yeah, this is unpleasant, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know where he went wrong because it looks like anyway, yeah, so it's a difficult position, so let's see if Sam
Yes,
can
yes.
hold this. Yeah, let's maybe take a look at Vladimir's game. to
Yes,
see
yes.
if
We have also
we have only one game going there. It's Vladimir is playing against Maxim Rothstein. The other three games are drawn. So
the same
this-
situation.
same situation. Yeah, so Vladimir is worse. So the hope is to try to hold.
Yeah,
So
he was pawn down, but now
he's not pawn down.
no, but
Yeah.
but he's
yeah,
pawns
so
are
it's a difficult position. So, but maybe he can try to.
okay. He's a good fighter.
Yeah,
So
so very experienced player. So if there are some chances, I'm sure he'll find it.
Yes,
So the clock,
He'll
they're
catch
getting
them.
low on the clock, yeah, a little bit, yeah, maybe
7 against
7
8.
against 8, yeah. So let's see. So
The move is
who's black draw? Yeah. Okay, so last move was h5. Just to mention
Yes.
for audience that h5 was played, and last move was Vladimir decided to capture the
G6,
pawn,
h5.
which is probably the right thing to do. So the question is now, what is Rothstein trying to do? He gave up the
Queen
pawn.
f5.
Queen f5, yes, queen f5, but then there's
Rook
b5.
b5, and some rook c, some queen f4 check, maybe.
Queen f4 check. King has to go to. Where do we go here? Yeah, looks
Not good,
looks
because
unpleasant,
king
yeah.
h3, then rook c1 is coming, and if king g2, maybe queen c1 is coming. I'm not sure,
There
but
is rook b2, maybe. Yeah, it's certainly it's unpleasant, but maybe even just rook c1.
rook c1, yeah. Just queen h4 is coming.
Yeah, the queen h4 is a threat.
But okay, maybe knight g3 now, and if queen h4, then queen e4, just
Just to
change
try
the
to make a
queen.
draw. Yeah, yeah, I think this makes sense, absolutely. And
but then if f5, okay, it's hanging on e5, so it's
check, maybe trying to get this. No.
this is not so bad. I mean,
Actually, there is also queen d3 check. So this is
we,
not so clear.
so maybe he can't go with this. Maybe he can take on f5, he can make some calm move. I don't know.
Maybe rook d4
Or rook c1 immediately.
or rook c1 immediately, but then there is queen e3. So it's, I mean, it's to win this pawn. It's huge because
Yeah.
this is the pawn that was going to help
Yeah.
Black to win the game. But now after that pawn is gone, yeah, it's yeah. Is there anything else Rothstein can do? Can he try to somehow? But
Because he played h5, so he
H5.
must have some
he
idea.
must have
here.
some idea. Yeah, absolutely. So
But rook is hanging.
check, king g2. Yeah, I think it looks like it's probably going to be a draw.
So
Yeah,
good
at
chances.
least it's very
We
difficult to
couldn't
see
see.
now.
Okay, but maybe queen c1. I think it's the
Queen c1, yeah, now the threat is rook c2. That's a
yes,
very
but
strong
knight
threat.
f2. You have
Yeah,
I didn't say
knight f2 you have, and yeah, knight f2.
that this queen d3 is coming.
Yeah, yeah. Now these light squares are weak, so it's
Probably rook h4, queen d3, e4.
yeah, but still, is it that bad? Take e5.
Yeah, okay. It's
And the rook is covering the
Yeah.
g5 squares, so yeah, see, I don't have e5. Yeah, I think
just no move.
um,
Maybe he all didn't.
maybe queen f5 maybe, or queen f4.
Okay, queen g3.
Queen
At
g3.
least.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the rook is trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
some bishop d6.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think the probably the draw.
He
Yeah, I
could
think it's gonna be
manage.
draw. Yeah. So yeah.
I think maybe he overlooked that Vladimir can take on h5. So
Yeah. It's so yeah, maybe something he overlooked, but it looks like at least that White has some, he's fighting and he has some chances to make a draw. Yeah.
because the king is black king is
Yeah, Black King is not very safe as well here, so.
so maybe some perpetual.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Loredana.
yeah, my pleasure, and yeah, I'll be happy to stop by again in the fourth hour.
Okay,
Thank you.
take care. Okay. Dear friends, we are taking some pause. See you soon.